Good evening, goeienaand, sanbonani, dumelang, riperile, limadekwana. Earlier today, I visited the areas of KwaMashu, Springfield, Mobeni, and Umlazi in KwaZulu-Natal. These areas have been sites of unprecedented violence and destruction over the past few days. The streets and buildings I saw bear the scars of looting and mayhem. But what is most devastating is the toll that these events of violence have taken on people's lives, on their livelihoods and sense of security. The human toll will take much longer to repair. It is clear now that the events of the past week were nothing less than a deliberate, a coordinated, and a well-planned attack on our democracy. The constitutional order of our country is under threat. The current instability and ongoing incitement to violence constitutes a direct contravention of the Constitution of our country and the rule of law. These actions are intended to cripple the economy of our country, to cause social instability, and severely weaken or even dislodge the democratic state. Using the pretext of a political grievance, those behind these acts have sought to provoke a popular insurrection amongst our people. They have sought to exploit the social and economic conditions under which many South Africans live, conditions of poverty, of inequality and unemployment that have worsened since the onset of coronavirus pandemic, and to provoke ordinary citizens and criminal networks to engage in opportunistic acts of wanton looting. The ensuing chaos is used as a smokescreen to carry out economic sabotage through targeted attacks on trucks, on factories, on warehouses, and other infrastructure necessary for the functioning of our economy and the provision of services to our people. Through social media, through fake news and misinformation, they have sought to inflame racial tensions and violence. Worst of all, these instigators have sought to manipulate the poor and vulnerable for their own benefit. Yet, despite the widespread destruction, this attempted insurrection has failed. It has failed to gain popular support amongst our people. This coming Sunday, South Africans will join people across the world in celebrating Nelson Mandela Day. As we reaffirm our commitment to our democracy and remembering the father of our nation, Nelson Mandela, let us use Mandela Day to provide food to the most vulnerable in our society, to clean up our streets, and to start the task of rebuilding.
Fellow South Africans, today, the 18th of July, 2021, As we celebrate Nelson Mandela International Day, today's Sunday is not a preaching Sunday, but a reasoning Sunday service. As we mark the Nelson Mandela International Day, I bring you a prophetic State of Nation address in the wave of South Africa July 2021 National Black Week violence and unrest, looting. And I title my message to the nations across the world, and in particular South Africa and Africa as a continent, under overcoming rejection. South Africa, my beloved frustrated nation. Today, the International Nelson Mandela Day celebration, I bring you a word titled Overcoming Rejection. South Africa, my beloved frustrated nation. Fellow South Africans, as you all are aware of our National President Ramaphosa's State of Nation healing address on Friday, the 16th of July, 2021, I am here in addition to our President's political and economic healing address. I bring to you a spiritual and a prophetic healing message to our nation, South Africa, and Africa continent as a whole. Today I bring you a very special admonition word in our month of rest, roundabout, and celebration. I reject frustration in Jesus' name. As I take my bearing from the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18, and the nations were angry, and the wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servant, thy prophet, and to the saint, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. The word I bring you today again is titled Overcoming Rejection. South Africa, my beloved frustrated nation. My heart is bleeding today again as I bring you this message. Remember, the Lord told us prophetically that this month of July is our month of rest roundabout. On the first day of this month, I reject frustration. And last Sunday, the 11th of July, we started talking on overcoming frustration in our life and rejection. Overcoming frustration in our life and overcoming rejection. We talk about changing your world for the rest of your world. I reject frustration. Shortly after this message last Sunday, the 11th of July, the same night of the 11th of July, a great tragedy and a great smoke of sorrow struck our nation, South Africa. From the 11th of July to the 15th of July, 1617, that can be described as the worst calamity and unrest that has ever enveloped our great South African nation. In that week, our nation, South Africa, was indeed witnessed a manifestation of the greatest unrest, which we might term as a result of frustration in our land. Is this a political frustration? Is this economical frustration? Is this a spiritual or scriptural manifestation of God's prophecy in the month of July and in this year 2021 concerning the African nations? Is this an act of wickedness? Is this an act of humanity to humanity? Or a sign of the end time? What shall we call this event that happened in South Africa over the week from the 11th of July? I don't know, because you know better than I do. But remember how God pre-warned this land that same Sunday on our subject matter and the topic that was tied to "The world can never change for you unless you change the world." For this reason, I'm going to recap the last Sunday message to capture your mind and to settle your mind for a peaceful land as we count our losses of the violence. Last Sunday, we defined what is rest roundabout. Last Sunday, the same day that the event, that the unrest started in the night, on this platform, we ask ourselves, what is celebration and how can a man be a celebrity? Or how can a man be celebrated in the life or in our life? We also discuss on what is frustration, what made people to be frustrated in life. That same day, the same night that the unrest escalated in South Africa. Is this prophetic manifestation of the warning of God? There are so many in the world today going through so many frustrations in life, such as politically, castration and frustration, spiritual frustration, economic frustration, medical frustration, emotional stress, frustration, family or relationship complication and frustration, educational and vocational frustration. Many people has died because of the above problem, because no one could save them. That was our last Sunday message. As I recap, 80% of the message last Sunday. Last Sunday we discussed and we stated that so many people are alone or they are living in a loneliness life because of those frustrations and because no one could deliver them. Everywhere they tried, churches, they've tried prophet GOs, they've tried so many herbalists, counselors, rehabilitations, clinic, etc. But instead of getting solution, it was confusion. They got more confused or more frustrated, and they became more vulnerable. When I look at the global world problem-solving analysis, I found that the world is in a mess, and we are living in a big confusion, politically, spiritually, and otherwise. These are part of last Sunday messages as was preached on this altar. The world can never be changed for you unless you change your word. The world can never give you peace unless you give yourself peace. Our rest depends on our self-determination. We must fight it ourselves, and I mean yourself. Rest can never be available in the world without God. Rest is available in the world for everyone, but not everybody has access to rest. except anyone or those one that desire rest in their land. The sea is full of turbulence. The air is full of turbulence. Our roads are full of turbulence. Our houses and our homes are full of chaos. Our government houses, our parliament and our political parties are full of chaos and turbulence. Our churches are full of confusion. Even our sleep are full of nightmare. And we ask God, who shall deliver us from all this turbulence? Beloved, that's the sound of my voice and my fellow South Africans. Please remember again, the Lord said to us that the world can never be at rest or at peace because of you, but you can take rest and have peace in the world by yourself. No man on this earth can give you a rest, but a restless life for rest. Man will give you rules and regulations spiritually, physically, politically, medically, financially. Why they take away your rest with rules and regulations, terms and conditions, and they monitor your life with times and conditions again. The time has come for many of us to change the world and never expect the world to change for us. Why is our land and the world in turmoil and trouble today? Can we say our people are suffering from the brain suspension syndrome? Can we say our people in the land of Africa are suffering from brain suspension syndrome? It appears to us now than before that so many people are living in frustration and restless life because of their brain has been suspended spiritually, politically, physically, mentally, psychologically. Many people are living in frustration because their brain has been suspended. And people are perishing today for lack of knowledge. If this is the case, or is this the case that is happening in South Africa over this week? What is the source or what is the cause of frustration? Therefore, my beloved South Africans and Africans hearing my message today, the International Mandela Day. We live in the ignorance of the past that the present cannot challenge or that the present cannot make sense of. What is the source of our frustration? Last week we are talking about changing your world for the rest of your world. I reject frustration. How can I walk out of this present or the pending frustration in my life and enjoy peace, rest round about? Your frustration today is as a result of your past and present stupidity, your past ignorance, and your past and present sentimental value in life. Beloved, under the sound of my voice and my fellow South Africans, you got to wake up now. And now to study every event of your life and every event of our life in the past and in the present. Otherwise, you are doomed or we are doomed forever. Wake up your brain now and change whatever you can change now. Wake up your brain and ask questions in order to get answer to what you don't know. Wake up your brain and deliver yourself from every restlessness word that lead to reckless life and loss of property and destruction of life. Everybody loves peace, but not everybody have peace. When a man is displeased, he is on peace and he is in pieces. And he came to an unrest. And when a man became unrest, he became frustrated. What are the sources of the unrest? Chaos, violence in our land. Can there be any sources of unrest or violence other than frustrations and rejections? The question I ask you today, if Mandela is to be speaking to us today, is what is frustrating you? Are you frustrated? Are you being frustrated? What is frustrating our land and what is frustrating our nation, South Africa? Who is frustrating our land, South Africa? What is frustrating our land, Africa? Nevertheless, we must understand that whenever a man is frustrated, he became rejected. And a frustrated man is a rejected man. There is no rejection without frustration. Every frustration always resulted in destruction. Destruction of life, destruction of self, destruction of properties. And that's what we are witnessing, or what we have witnessed in South Africa and in Nigeria, in Mozambique, and some part of African nation today, where there are massive violence and destructions of life and properties, presently happening in the rest, or presently happening in Africa continent, more than every other part of the world. If you remember a prophetic warning concerning Nigeria and South Africa, particularly in the year 2021 crossover message, it was prophesied on this altar. I saw a political unrest in Nigeria and in South Africa in 2021, which are now being manifested in Nigeria under ethnic freedom or ethnic freedom fighter agitations. The Yoruba land, the Igbo land agitated freedom from Nigeria. 2021 Global World Peace Accord. 2021 is a year of let my people go. Because it is a year of Zedekiah, the evil mankind. But the Lord will deliver all his own people from all the 2021 Zedekiah. 2021 political or politics revelation. I see in 2021 is about to witness many local and national, international and global political shock and surprises from and within political leaders and alliance, both in Africa and in America, because it is a year of reality, a year of a new life manifestation, particularly in Africa, Nigeria and South Africa. Politicians will encounter political crisis, revolution and political change of power, and the young leaders rebel. Young political leadership will emerge while the old will defend and surrender, because it is a year of new life revolution. 2021 Nigeria and South Africa political crisis. I see a major presidential shaking that ends and terminates certain powerful individual political career. A political vacuum in the presidency created for another person. It is a new life reality dawn in Nigeria and in South Africa in particular. That was the prophetic agenda concerning 2021. African peace, Nigeria and South Africa. And also here in South Africa, We have seen what started as a free political leader campaign and developed to nation's economic violence. Is this act of violence acceptable, allowed, entertained, or celebrated? This brought us to look at what are the causes of unrest and the frustration in our land. What are the causes of frustration spiritually, politically, economically, physically in our land? Number one, injustice. Within ourselves and in the land could be a cause of frustration. Inequality, manipulation, deceptions of the highest order, spiritually, politically, rejection of his people, of our people, politically, economically, incastration of our people politically, economically. 7, isolation of people politically, economically. 8, unsatisfaction or dissatisfaction of people or of masses. Ungratefulness of the people. Indecision. Sentimental value in life. And 12, the heart of foolishness. As stated above, the greater causes of the above mentioned causes of unrest and frustration is no one but foolishness. And this takes us to talk about and identifying frustration by foolishness. Destruction by foolishness. Violence by foolishness. Who is a foolish person? Who is a foolish nation? There is no foolish nation without a foolish person or without foolish persons. A foolish person is a stupid person. And what are the characteristics of a foolish person? One of the characteristics of a foolish person is stupidity and nonentity. What are the manifestations of a foolish person? If you want to enjoy rest roundabout and overcome rejection in our land, you must be ready to overcome foolishness. Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 15 says to us in King James Version, the labor of the foolish weary every one of them, because he knoweth not how to go to the city. One foolish person among 100 people makes all 100 people to be stupid. 10 foolish person in 100 people make the 100 people foolish. Foolish people in any given nation make the whole nation to be foolish and stupid. Every foolish people in any nation make a fool of the nation. Not because the whole nations are foolish, but because the foolish people have rendered the whole nation a fool nation. Fellow South Africans and people under the sound of my voice, are you a foolish or a fool person? Or are you being fooled as a nation? Or are you a stupid nation? I want to help us to understand and answer this question. What are the manifestations of a foolish or a manifestation of a stupid person that rendered nation stupid or foolish? Until we understand the characteristics of a foolish nation or the foolish men and women in the nation, then we cannot understand rest or rest roundabout or peace in any given nation. This brings me, therefore, to let you ponder and think today. Are you a foolish or a fool person? Answer this question yourself. As we examine the characteristics of a foolish and a stupid, or characteristics of foolish and stupid people in a nation. Number one, they act without thinking and they think after acting. They follow multitude for violence without direction. They took information without reformation. The characteristics of a foolish person or foolish people in the land, they enjoy destruction more than construction. Are you foolish in this land? Or are you a foolish South African? Or a foolish African man or African woman? They fight and they kill to revenge more than to repent. They have no forgiveness in their diary. A foolish person in the land, in any given land, are full of violence more than peace.
Surely they were here in the morning, by the way, to pray, quote unquote, for former President Jacob Zuma, because they say as he is facing these difficult, challenging times, they need to pray for him. He did allude to the fact that they were concerned about reports that they were going to be arrested. He told me, that is Bishop Sandile Ndlela, I think Bongam Kize will be focusing on him now. He is the one facing the group that is marching there. He told me that they had reports that police were planning on swooping on those who are, or were planning to arrest those who are leading or organizing this gathering. He said they were not worried about that. They were not concerned because they were here to pray for the former president. But right now they are on the streets marching, showing their solidarity and support to former President Jacob Zuma. These are the radical economic transformation forces, or champions as they would like to be called. They say they are here to protect the former president. I asked them whether they will be accompanying him to the nearest police station. They did not want to answer that question except to say that they are here to show support and to pray for the former president. So that is the situation as it is developing here in Nkandla. As we expect more people to come, we are told that by the end of business today, many people would have come to Nkandla, according to those who are organizing this gathering. Let me tell you that no one wants to speak on record about this gathering because people are aware that they will be arrested for breaking COVID-19 regulations.
For a period of Edward Zuma will want to give us that comment there. But Edward, I'm sorry, you're not wearing a mask. Aren't you concerned of the pandemic that's ravaging the country now?
Come again?
You're not wearing a mask yourself. Aren't you concerned of the pandemic that's ravaging the country currently, with a lot of people not wearing masks here?
Right now, I'm in a situation of war, so I do not have time to think about the mask.
Why? Has to do with the Free Zuma campaign, or if it's just elements of criminality that has just taken over this particular protest. We understand that in some parts of Johannesburg, people were saying that it has nothing to do with the Free Zuma campaign, but
Nelson Mandela inspired people from all walks of life from all over the world. Here are some of his words of wisdom.
I stand here before you not as a prophet, but as a humble servant of you, the people. Your tireless and heroic sacrifices have made it possible for me to be here today. We are going forward. The march towards freedom and justice is irreversible. I have fought very firmly against white domination. I have fought very firmly against black domination. I cherish the ideal of a new South Africa where all South Africans are equal. Ordinary South Africans are determined that the past be known, the better to ensure that it is not repeated. They seek this not out of vengeance, but so that we can move into the future together. After nearly 90 years of life, it is time for new hands to lift the burdens. It is in your hands now.
If it's the position today, looking at people looting, destroying life and properties, what would it have done?
Earlier when I crossed here, she was in Maponya Mall. That's a Jabulani Mall in the heart of Soweto, in the western part of Soweto. Yes, Mobile, can you talk to us?
Yes, Dan, it is Jabulani Mall. So we moved from Maponya Mall, where we saw some looting that was happening right next to Maponya Mall. Now this is Jabulani Mall. Essentially, Dan, they've raided all the shops that you can think of. At the moment, what we are watching is a shop. We are watching people who are walking out with things like fridges, beds. I mean, Dan, they're walking out with furniture now. So it has gone from food to clothing to furniture. There's a shop that they're trying to hit at the moment. We understand it's Food Lovers. They're also coming out of their Dan. The whole mall has been looted. When we arrived here, the police were shooting and they were also getting stones that were coming back at them. But now the police are actually just standing, also trying to get them out on the other side of the mall where there's normally the eatery side of the mall. That's where they've managed to get them out of that area. But people are continuing, Dan. OK Furniture has already been raided. We see Food Lovers, there's a lot of people in there. There's a liquor shop where everybody's standing next to at this point. We understand that Hyper Corporation as well, Dan, has been hit. And of course the entire mall, as we were driving in, people were coming from all ends of the mall with everything you can think of. It's numerous numbers, little social distancing as you can see, Dan, not much mask wearing, just continuation of taking stuff from the mall, Dan, and it's just continuing. The police shot at them, but not much is getting them to stop, Dan.
It's really disturbing visuals, live visuals we're bringing you. Mobile, please do take care where you are. But we can see different shops being attacked live, and it's hundreds and hundreds of people grabbing whatever they have grabbed from inside the shopping center, Jabulani Mall, looting it live as we speak. there's not much police presence. I saw earlier 1 or 2 JMPD officers. I mean, they are JMPD after all. There you go. There's one of them there. You can see. But what can you do in this situation? And just wondering out aloud, when anybody else finds out about this in Soweto and elsewhere in the country, what would stop them from trying to loot? I see the police are firing. There's one policeman there firing. I don't know if it's rubber bullets. Ngobile, are you able to tell us if the policeman is firing rubber bullets?
Don't come in back of my back.
Again, at this moment, we know that they're firing rubber bullets at the people, but the stones are coming back much faster than the bullets at this point, Pradan. I think that's why you see them just keeping the line from where we're standing. The people are retaliating as well from what the police are doing. Just interestingly, Pradan, just across the road on the other side, they've also even hit an ATM. We saw people that were standing right next to the ATM. The whole road that side also, Pradan, is burning, it's blockaded. There's also a truck that is currently burning. We understand it's a water truck. But Pradan, also now we're just seeing the police, they're dragging some minors as well as the older people that they have taken out of the shop on the side that has had less people. Of course, there's some minors there. We're not going to show you that for too long. But then the police are trying the best that they can to arrest the people from what they are doing, but it's very difficult. We know that even driving around Soweto, it's at a point where the police themselves are outnumbered, Pradan. The police vans, we were hooting, continuously trying to get their attention, and they were saying to us they're rushing from this point to the next point. You'll remember yesterday, even JMPD was speaking to us, telling us that these are sporadic. So this is what's happening. From one point, they think they've got it all together, to the next, and then it starts all over again. You will see, Pradan, it seems they've just hit another shop inside. More numbers of people coming out from the numbers that we have seen. They're now coming out from the other end of the mall, which would be from where we're standing, the left wing of the mall, Pradan. It's continuing. The police are trying the best that they can. People are walking out with anything. Right now we can see people walking out with vacuums, walking out with clothing. Essentials, interestingly, Pradan, we see a lot of people also taking essentials. We've seen people walking out with things like tissue, simple things like food as well, Pradan. We've seen a lot of that. But interestingly, what you see, Pradan, is a lot more younger people than what you would see of old people. I suppose there's also that idea that younger people can run much quicker, and you will see a lot of them are just running. There's no walking slowly at this point. Everybody's running to grab as much as they can. We'll try and attempt to just come a bit closer so you can see, Pradan. But at this point, we know that Haifa Corporation is hit. OK Furniture is hit. We've seen Food Lovers as well. That's where you see a lot of people coming out with veggies and all of that, Pradan, is also hit. And now we see that they're also getting more people going in. So it seems like people are now rushing to that end.
Mother. Now, the building next to that is also on fire now. We've got, members of the communities, people passing by, and the police trying to, douse the flame. We don't know what caused it as yet. But earlier on, we also saw people who were trying to help clean up this town. People who live here who are also carrying brooms, helping firefighters, trying to clean this place up, and also chasing away people that still wanted to continue looting whatever was left.
So this is the mall that I'm assuming that they're trying to only loot from the early hours of this morning. After looting the rest of the malls around Vosloorus, you see the shots that are being fired here. There's a large contingency of police, but
many are calling themselves children of God. Yeah, they are partaker of the work of the devil. The masters of destruction. The masters of stealing. The sender of stealing. The sender of destruction. Many that were part of destructions were in church. They were in mosque on Sunday, 11th of July. But in the 11th July, in the night, in the evening, they turned themselves to the messengers of Satan and the messengers of the devil by looting, destroying the lives and properties of their fellow brothers and sisters. What can we say about you? Brothers under the sound of my voice, sisters under the sound of my voice, fellow South Africans. Is this how to continue? And we expect to live in peace and in rest. In rest and about. In the new South Africa, in the new Africa, new normal. We are dealing with the pandemic destruction. Yet, we are engineering self-destruction, self-calamities. Who shall therefore save us or deliver us? Beloved, under the sound of my voice, I challenge you as I'm coming to an end. Who is your master of peace? Who is your master of destruction? My fellow South Africans, my beloved frustrated nations, I urge you today to please allow peace and walk out of stupidity, walk out of nonentity, walk out of spiritual slavery, political slavery, and be a thinker and be a doer of peace in our land. We can only overcome frustration, rejection, and have peace. Peace round about as we began the rebuilding of our nation. And as we free ourselves from every foolishness and stupidity. It all depends on you. It all depends on your reaction and your action to every situation. Beloved and fellow South Africans, I speak peace into our land and rest round about to every home and every individual that are mourning now. I join the nation and I join our president to decree and to declare peace in the land. I speak peace and serenity to our land, South Africa, today. And I command the peace of the land to overtake this country. I command the rest that the Lord promised us on this month of July to rest in every home and everyone that's heard this message this morning. Wake up from your political stupidity. Wake up from your spiritual stupidity and spiritual manipulation. And let us rebuild this nation, South Africa. I bring you peace. And the peace of the Lord that supersedes all human knowledge we speak in our land, beginning from today, in the name of Jesus. Shalom.